Okay, outsider survivor. I'm going to do a bug out bag breakdown here. I'll show you what I got in my pack, brief description of why I got it there. Um, I carry a water bottle around my neck like this so I can get to it easily, take it off, and refill it quickly. The ones in the pack, I find they're awkward to get to. They're hard to reach around. Most modern packs are built this way. I don't know why. Every once in a while you see one that's built to get to the water bottle very easily, but this one's not. Most of them aren't. So I carry this, and I have another video talking about this system, about water bottles. So I carry this water bottle. It's an Nalgene. I also carry a metal water bottle. They're both full for this breakdown here. Full pack weight comes out to about 38 pounds, and that's with the water. I have a pair of aqua socks. They have a carabiner holding them together, and they're strapped in and latched into my pack. Anything on the outside of the pack is subject to be lost. It's one of those rules that I've just kind of made for myself, that you realize that anything outside of your pack stands a good chance of coming off your bag. That's just all there is to it, and being lost. So you secure them really well. Anything that's outside the pack, make sure it's lashed down every time, but chances are you're still running a risk of losing it. You're going to get sloppy, you're going to get tired, and it's easy to lose stuff when it's not totally strapped down to your bag. Okay, let's get into this pack a little bit. I'm going to get in the top so I can take out my rain poncho, which I always keep at the top, very accessible. In this part of the country, it rains, 180 days a year or some crazy thing. So the rain poncho is an essential part of my gear, and it's also what I use to cover me at night. I sleep in a hammock, and I'll run this rain poncho above me to shed the rain. It is the extra long rain poncho, so it's meant to go over your backpack and cover that too, and still go just as far in the back as it does in the front, so it is a little longer in the back. That gives you extra length. It's one of the reasons I use it, so it makes a better rain fly to go above you when you're sleeping in your hammock. That makes a pretty light system. So I'm going to lay this down on the ground so I can just throw my gear down on top of it as I do the breakdown here. Okay, I'm going to go get on with the breakdown here. I carry a wool blanket. The wool blanket is exceptionally warm. If you put this on the inside of your sleeping bag, it makes it so comfortable to get into right away. It's toasty warm. You can use it as a clothing layer. You can put it on top of you and drape it over you, make a hood out of it. I use this instead of carrying a lot of clothes. You're not going to find very much in the way of clothes in this bag. I have a separate bag that has my clothes in it, and you get dressed, change your clothes, or grab the little duffel bag and run off and change your clothes, because the Cotton City clothes have got to go. Those won't do you any good in a survival situation. You grab a bag of real clothes, of rugged clothing, and you take that with you. I'll do another review on clothing to take with you, but for right now, this is just the gear in the pack. I carry the wool blanket instead of all that clothing, because you can just make yourself warmer with this. Tuck it inside your clothing or on the outside, inside your sleeping bag. You can put it down on a wet surface with your rain poncho on top of it to stay dry. There's just a million ways of using a wool blanket in the wilderness. It's just one of the things that I found just invaluable, is the wool blanket. So I do carry a firearm. I have been looking a cougar right in the eye before, and in the middle of the night, and I'm just glad I had this strapped to my chest at the time, hiking in the middle of the night. I think that in a bug out bag, some form of personal self-defense that is a projectile that you can shoot out at somebody else to defend yourself is a really good idea, whether it be a can of bear spray or a crossbow or a slingshot or a breakdown 22 rifle. I happen to have a pistol. I bought it specifically for backpacking and really for cougars, because I don't trust those big cats, man. They're crazy. So I do carry a firearm. I suggest you get in a firearm. There's a huge debates on the internet about firearms and what's the best one to carry in your bug out bag. I think whatever you're best with, that's what you should have. Whatever you can get your hands on, if that's not the case, anything to defend yourself is a good idea. I would love to have a small breakdown 22 rifle. I haven't found one that is just what I want. I think that would be a nice option, but still the pistol, since I'm not using this for hunting, this is just to get me from point A to point B. My bug out bag is designed around getting me from my house out to the wilderness. Out in the wilderness, I will have a cache laid out on the edge of the wilderness somewhere where I can get to that and restock into heavier, more wilderness-based gear, axes, saws, your heavy gear, hunting rifles or shotguns, that kind of stuff. Somewhere safe, somewhere, whatever the gear is appropriate, somewhere set aside for you. The bug out bag is taking you there. So that's what this is designed around. So it may be different than some other people's bags for that reason. But I carry a pistol just for self-defense, so that if something's right on top of me, I can defend myself. Not planning to siege the towers or do anything crazy. I think a firearm is a good idea. I do carry a few extra rounds for the pistol. Not much, just I think I got like 15 or 20 357 rounds. It is a 357, by the way, stainless steel. I do suggest stainless steel for bug out anything that's going to be in a pack. As much stainless steel as you can get. You don't want stuff rusting on you. So I do have a small amount of firearms, just a fistful, probably 30 or 40 rounds, some 38, some 357. Not too much of that stuff. My hammock, ultralight, Inu, or I don't know what the brand name of it is, but it's a really nice poncho. I think it's a double wide, and it's ultralight. Doesn't weigh much. It packs down to nothing, and this pouch actually hangs off the side of the hammock when you've got it all strung up, so that you have something to store your gear in that you can just have handy hanging right next to you. I actually keep my pistol there and a bottle of water. So I carry a small tarp. This is I believe 6x8. It's just something that I can lay down on the ground and roll over in, or a double layer on the ground, so I have some insulation. If it's really, really bad weather, I can make a better shelter with the tarp. So I do carry a small tarp. It's brown and green. They make camo ones. I don't know if it's necessary. I think a lot of camouflage looks suspicious. I do carry one piece of camouflage aside from my wool blanket, which I think draped over your shoulders if you're sneaking in the bushes breaks your shape up pretty good and makes pretty good camouflage. I do carry a camouflaged hood. It's an oak leaf pattern that, we don't even really have much in the way of oaks out here, but it does break the shape of your head. It works really effectively. I played, paintball and stuff like that, and used it in paintball, and people do have a hard time seeing it. You poke your head over, a rock or a bush, and you just kind of blend in. So that's all the camo I carry, is this little hood. So if I gotta poke my head out and don't want to be seen, I can do that. Like I said, you can use the wool blanket as camouflage too. Now, I have my food broken down into two separate sections. I have this bag of food which has a whole variety of meat and grains and nuts and trail mix. They're all in here and all broken down, and I have this separate so that I can actually pull this out. This is one of the bulk weight items in the pack. I can pull this out and leave it behind and go with a much lighter pack if I want to. I have more food and all the rest of my gear in here. This is just the extra food. So I think this is a way of doing it. You can compromise and have your 72-hour bag or your 4 or 5 day loadout, whatever it is that you decide you want to have for amount of food, whatever is appropriate for you, for a nice lightweight pack. And you can also have the rest of your food that you can just quickly take in or out. Like, oh, I don't need all this stuff, you know, I just need to be light, so I can just boop, pull the extra food out, leave it behind in the car, and keep on going with a then ultra light pack of, like, you know, like 20 pounds here or something. It just cuts the weight down astronomically. I carry sardines. I have them in a sock. You know, I like to be able to separate my stuff so I can in little bags, and this old sock makes a good bag. It is clean, so I get it tied off at the end. Lots of things get lost in your pack or easily lost. I like to separate them with bags. Anything that divides them, little extra bags, since most modern packs don't have a lot of pouches unless you go military stuff, and I've chosen to go with more comfortable modern packs than a military pack. So I do have half a dozen cans of sardines, 53% of your protein in one of these cans. So it's a pretty good meat source. I do a video mentioning that before. Look at this is my 72-hour, or you could easily stretch it longer than that, loadout with my. I got about I say about 4 or 5 days of nice solid amount of food in this pack. In the small pack, I have my half a dozen cans of sardines. In here, I have my cooking set. I have a titanium cooking pot I bought years ago. I figure, you know, the titanium cooking set, as long as there are humans that use fire, this will be useful. So you can make it out of titanium and it will last forever. It'll be here when our civilization is gone to dust. This cooking pot will still be here. So at least it's well made and well thought out. If you're gonna make things out of titanium, I think they should be well thought out. I have brown sugar in here, which I love the dark brown sugar. You can find the dark brown stuff, it's got more flavor. So you can use less of it and still have that flavor you want in your breakfast cereals. I do carry a bunch of breakfast grains in here. This whole pot is just full of a mix of grains, and that's my cooking set right there. It's most all of what I've ever needed is just right in there. There's some tea in the bottom in there, hot chocolate, all stuffed in that one can. I do carry this container. It's full of rubbing alcohol. Use the 99%, the higher percentile rubbing alcohol for my cooking stove. That is exhaustible. You could use other fuels as well. If I run out of that cooking fuel, I'm not worried about it. I can use wood. There are other sources. This is just something to help you if you can't make fires, or what if you're stuck in a city situation where you can't be cutting down wood, or maybe you're in an area where there just isn't any of that available for whatever reason. You don't want to make smoke. You have that option. You can use a nice clean alcohol-based flame, and you can actually make a fire in your sardine can once you've used it, because the alcohol will just burn like a torch inside that can. I carry bouillon cubes. Season up your grains, your soups, and all that with bouillon cubes. I like the oxbow chicken flavor one is really good. Don't get the cheap Costco chicken bouillon cubes. They're terrible. Spend your money and get good bouillon cubes. It's really nice to be able to add flavor, even if it's just throw one in some hot water and have a hot cup of, chicken broth. It's really nice on a cold night. I do have my alcohol stove set up. I carry it wrapped in a little bandana so nothing gets damaged. I have my candle lantern This is a tea candle lantern. There's 4 candles in there. Those are 6-hour candles, so it's quite a lot of candle power for that little candle. This is my alcohol stove. It's just a Vienna sausage can with about 18 holes punched in it. By the way, these alcohol stoves, they're kind of iffy on higher altitudes unless you have really high alcohol percentage. That's why I say you get the high alcohol percentage, not the 70% alcohol. When you're up at higher altitudes, it doesn't work very well. A measuring cup. Must have a measuring cup with all the loose grains in bags. I can save a lot of space by having dense grains in bags, not the little packaged oatmeal, those Quaker oatmeal packages. They take up a lot of space, and that packaged oatmeal is not as sustaining as the whole oats. You try that out in the woods sometime when you're depleted and you've been, eating this trail food for a while, and you've been eating your packaged Quaker oats, and you switch to just some whole oats. You'll notice the difference right away. A lot more energy for a lot longer. It's a better product. So don't get those little packets of oatmeal. Get it in bulk and use a measuring cup to ration yourself. Plus you can drink out of it. It's got multiple uses. I carry at least a pair of leather gloves. That way you can handle your cooking gear in the fire. You don't need any kind of weird handle things. You can just reach in there, pull it out, put something else in, adjust it. You don't have to worry about it because you got good thick leather gloves. You won't get burned. You can just pull it out of the fire. You won't risk spilling it with some crazy lid contraption trying to grab it with some little hook. Don't do any of that. Just get a pair of leather gloves and problem solved. They have more uses than just that. You can harvest wood. You can do everything else. Protect your hands with leather gloves. I think at least one glove is still useful. If you're going ultra light, you could just take one glove and still be able to